Hi, welcome to episode 180 of the PassioKnit Spinner podcast. I'm Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and on Instagram and on Goodreads, and I'm going to leave those links down below. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. 180 episodes, the first one in the new year. And I have a lot of things to show you. So, first up, what I'm wearing. This is the Este top by Justyna Lakowska of Letters Knit. And I knit this out of... I think it was McMullen Fiber Company, and it is a yarn that has, I think, rami in it. No, it was something seaweed. It was like a merino and fiber made from seaweed, I think. Doesn't matter. I used 2 skeins. I made this top. It's very cute. So I'm wearing it today. Okay. Knitting in the past. I have one thing that is also going to be my next pattern that I'm going to release. So the yarn that I used was from Strick mich Wolle, and I have absolutely no idea where I bought it. No clue whatsoever. And it doesn't have a name. It's a normal 75-25 sock yarn, and it's a balaclava. It looks like this, and it's called the Hinterstein Balaclava, which is a village in the Alps. And yeah, I just about squeezed it out. This is what I had left in the end. I used that skein of sock yarn held double. So I caked it up and then used the inside and outside end to knit this thing. And, you know, they're not the most stylish things you can wear, but they are nice and warm and they keep your ears warm. So that's what it looks like. It looks like a helmet, which, you know, every balaclava looks like a helmet. But yeah, that is my newest pattern and it will be released next week. I have to weave in the ends and take pictures, and that's it. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I already have an idea for another one with another pattern, so that's gonna happen. And yeah, it turned out so nice and so pretty, and yeah, that is my pattern, and it's the only thing I have finished. So I started that while I was knitting on another pattern. Where is it? It's in here. And while knitting on this other balaclava, I was like, I wonder if I could do it like this and like this. It turns out I could. So the balaclava I have still on my needles, and I cannot find the printed pattern anywhere, but it is balaclava number 1 from My Favorite Things Knitwear. And for this, I am using a sock yarn, or it's not sock yarn, it's a fingering weight yarn, tweed from Quarry Fiber, together with a silk mohair. And it creates the most amazing fabric. It is so nice. It is so soft. It is the perfect golden yellow. And it's a lot of fun knitting. It looks like this. It's going to be extremely warm because, you know, it's mohair. So I am going to have this super nice and warm balaclava, and I have that one. So there are different stitch patterns, of course, and everything's different except for the whole thing, what it is. It's a balaclava. So I am at the bottom rib right now, and this has a very long rib. And I'm not going to run out of yarn, which is perfect. So yeah, this is the balaclava number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It's a paid for pattern, and you can only get it on their website. And it's going to be finished next time because I'm at the bottom rib. You know, it's not a whole lot of work left to do. So that's the balaclavas. Now on to other things. In here, this project bag here that I made, I have my second cast on for the 12 cast ons that I'm doing with Angela, or she's doing, and I'm participating. And it is the Botanist Cabled Cardigan by Thea Coleman. Jeez, I cannot talk today. So I have not done a whole lot. As you can see, I have done the first 6 rows. But it's a start, you know, it's started. It's rib and a tiny cable incorporated into the rib. And it is knit in one piece up to the armholes, and I am using this beautiful yarn here. This is Barocco Vintage DK in the, well, doesn't have a pattern colorway name. It's color 5176, but it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful burnt orange, and that is my second cast on for that project. I'm going to go straight to the first of my cast ons, and for this one I have already released a video, a vlog for, you know, casting on, working on it for the first few days. And this one here is the lounge sweater by I think on the pattern it just says Cozy Knits, but the pattern designer name is Clarissa Schellong. I think she's German. This is the pattern. I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about with that in that vlog, but of course I want to show you. So I'm using my hand spun for it, and I'm alternating skeins, and they have gone down quite a bit in size. And I have finished quite a bit as well. So here we are. So here I am on this sweater. It's beautiful. It has my favorite stitch pattern. You know, you look at this and you look at this. It's the same stitch pattern. It's my favorite stitch pattern. I have that pattern in a lot of my patterns. And it was on this pattern as well. So how could I not? And yeah, it's, I think, the perfect yarn and the perfect pattern combination. So this pattern is wonderful for hand spun. And it's a combo spin. And I have no idea about the fiber. I know that one braid of the fiber is from Kunta Bunte Wolle, but she doesn't dye fiber anymore. And the other braid might be from someone who I do not longer support. So, but yeah, it's really pretty. It's a very different color for me, you know, but I love it. So that's that sweater. I'm knitting that one. Oh no. Okay, just got caught in the brooch. I'm knitting this sweater on 5mm needles, and the other one is on 4mm needles. So yeah, these are my two started sweaters. The 12 cast-ons go through the 31st of January, and I have 10 things that I still need to work on or start on 1-2, you know, so we'll see how far I will actually be able to go with those plans, but 2 is already a good start, and they are both for me, so you know, it's fine. Okay, now I have two more things on the needles. First up, we have a pair of socks, and these are just for my shop, you know, plain vanilla socks. I am using this yarn here, which is Gründel, Hot Socks by Gründel Wolle. I do have a label, here it is. That's the label for the socks. The colorway is 08. So, you know, cannot really tell you a whole lot about it. But yeah, I have started now. Which is the one? That's the one. I have the sock knit through the heel, and the gusset is done, and I am now working my way down the foot. It's a bit crumpled because, you know, it was squished into a small project bag, but I think that these are really pretty. The colors are just gorgeous, and I am knitting these for my shop, and I am going to knit them in a size 40, I think, because that's what I realized this year, last year, leading up to Christmas, is I have 38s a lot, and I have 45s because that's my husband's and my shoe size, you know, because I always thought that if no one wanted them, we could at least wear them ourselves. But that left me with nothing in between, and that's not a good idea. So I've decided to knit some 40, 42, 45, 43, 44, you know, those in between sizes. And that's the first one. So yeah, the project bag here is from Mad Bird. I use these a lot. And, or this one, you know, specifically is my on-the-go sock bag. And this one is from A Needle Runs Through It. And I had those project bags forever. So I'm not sure if either of them are still in business. I do not know. And the last project I have on my needles is in this tote bag, which I got in an Illumicrate box, which is a book subscription box. And in here I have a dress. And it is Augustine's number 21, I think. Yeah. So pattern is Augustine's number 21 by Augustine's, and the pattern is available on their website. And I actually, my idea was to finish that for Christmas, but of course I didn't, because I had quite a few custom orders that I needed to work on in the lead up to Christmas. So it didn't happen, but it's fine. Maybe I will be able to wear it this Christmas. I do not know. So this is a top-down construction, but it is different than anything I've ever done before. I'm knitting on 9mm needles. It looks like this right now. You cannot tell anything, really. Yeah, it's, like I said, it's an interesting construction. So this is the sleeve, this is the front, here's the shoulder. And the yarn I'm using is 2 yarns held together. And those yarns are Clue from Junghanswolle, which is a German online yarn shop. And Drops brushed alpaca silk in this colorway. And the colors are very different, you know, I know that. But I also knew that this by itself wasn't thick enough. So, and I just had this red, you know, I had these, so I decided to just combine them. And to be honest, I think that it gives the whole thing so much more depth than if I had used a single color. So I'm really happy with my choice. What I'm not happy with is the 9mm needles, because yeah, sure, it goes really fast, but also it really hurts the hands after a while. At least it hurts my hands. So yeah, it's the Augustine's number 21. And it's also the last of my active whips. So I'm going to show you 2 things that I want to get onto my needles. The first is a hat that I want to make for my son. When we went to the Barcelona Knits Festival, he picked yarn for himself. And I mean, he picked a lot of yarn for himself, but these ones I thought I could combine into a color work hat. So it's 2 minis, a mohair mini in very bright colors. So these are neon yellow, this leading to green, this is just highlighter yellow. I'm going to hold those together. Then I have this dark purple and this really bright greeny turquoisey color. So I thought that this would work pretty well for color work. It is a fingering weight, fingering to sport weight. And I have decided to knit a pattern that I already have, and is for Gledy. I have no idea how to say that. But it is a pattern by Isolde Teak. It is from her Knitworthy collection number 5. And I am going to use the turquoise as the brown main color, the dark purple as the blue, and the highlighter yellow as the white. And she calls for fingering weight, which I have. It's Tuku wool that she uses, which has 195 meters per 50 grams. And my main color has 190 meters per 50 grams. So that's pretty close. And I am just going to knit this pattern for my son. And I think it's going to be very pretty. And it comes in 3 different sizes. So I just need to decide which size I want to knit. So yeah, that's one of the things that will be on my needles, hopefully super soon, because we theoretically have winter right now. Practically it is super warm. We have no snow and it's just not very wintry. But you know, cannot change it. So I want to make that hat for him. And the other thing I want to knit is another Sophie scarf. I've made 2 so far. And this is the pattern. It's by PassioKnit. And I have decided to use these yarns. I bought them specifically to knit a Sophie scarf. So the first skein is Lana Grossa Eco Puno, which is a, what are you? It's 72% cotton, 17% merino, and 11% alpaca. It's really, really, really soft. And it's a beautiful green. And I want to hold that together with this yarn, which is also Lana Grossa, and it's called Diamante. And it's a glitter yarn. It has sequins in it. And I just thought that it would be a very cool and festive little scarf. So yeah, that's the plan. And that's what I will do. I have 20 meters less of this than I have of this. So I need to orient myself on this one, which is not going to be easy because there is a, there's a center, a cardboard center in this one. So I cannot weigh it because I don't know how much the cardboard weighs. So I'm not quite sure yet. I need to do a little bit of math and figure out how much I need to have used up of this to make it equivalent to the half of that. I can figure it out. It's going to be a bit of math. I like math. It's going to be fine. So that's the other small thing I want to get on my needles. And then of course I want to start one of the other 12 cast-ons. I have made a video for that where I showed all of my ideas and all of the plans that I had, and I want to get a third of those on the needles soonish. And also more socks, you know, and then there's already the 23 and 23 in the back of my head where I want to finish things that I have started before January 1st, and there's lots of them. So I will not have a problem with that project. If you do not know what I'm talking about, there's also a video about my 23 in 23 challenge, which basically means I want to finish 23 started projects across all of my textile arts crafts. And if you want to join me, we do have a hashtag, and I actually have the paper still in front of me because I need to clean this room. And this is the hashtag. It's hashtag TPKS. It stands for the PassioKnit Spinner _ 23 in 23. And I would love for you to join and just try to finish some things that are lingering. Okay, that's that part. There is no spinning, which is a lie. There's a tiny bit of spindle spinning, but I didn't bring it. I have nothing for new stuff because it just was Christmas, and I did show the things that I received in my Vlogmas videos. Or did I? I did not, because I didn't film a Vlogmas on the 25th, so I wouldn't have had my things. So I'm going to show you. I received 2 crafting books for Christmas. I got this one from my sister, which is a sock knitting book, and it has beautiful patterned socks in it. And the designer is Nina Laitinen. And yeah, this book is called Knitting Finnish Socks, like in Finland. And the other thing I asked specifically for, and I got this from my husband, is the Visible Creative Mending book by Flora Collingwood Norris, and I wanted that forever. And also, speaking of forever, have I taken them upstairs now? I have not. Okay, now, I'm proud of myself for remembering. Before my last podcast, which was forever ago, and I'm pretty sure before that one, I wanted to show you my latest darning project, and I just forgot. I had them sitting next to me on sock blockers, and I forgot to show them, but I just remembered. So let's get some blockers. I have blockers. These are socks that I finished during Vlogmas, I think, or shortly after Christmas, and they are for my studio shop. So they are not the important bit. The important bit are the ones that I darned And I remembered, proud of myself. I have these here, these 2 pairs of socks. They need darning. That's why they're there. And this here, I just darned. And this is a pair of handspun socks. So, and there's darning on only one of them. So, this one here, I knit these socks in 2010, 2011, 29? I do not remember. At least 10 years ago. And after 10 years of wearing them a lot and washing them only in the machine, they wore through on one heel. And I darned it. And I wanted to show you my darning because I'm really proud of it. You know, it was just on the heel. I'm going to turn it around a bit so you can see. So this is what it looks like. This is the darning that I did. I used a darning mushroom, which is my favorite way, actually. I do have one of those little darning looms, but I need to practice more with that one. So far, every time I used it, it looked just really bad. But this I did with a darning mushroom, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I actually really enjoy doing it. It's very meditative. And for the darning, I used a Regia silk, I think. It's a leftover I had in my box, and I feel like the color blends in nicely. So, you know, I'm really glad I remembered because now I can take them upstairs again. So yeah, they are freshly darned and they are good to go. The colors, of course, faded a lot over those 10 or 12 years. But I mean, they've been through the washing machine 50 times, 60. I don't remember. Many, many, many times. And they are hand spun. So yeah, I love those. And they're darned. I remembered. Really happy with that. And these need to be darned. So that's going to be my project until next time. These children's socks have been darned before. And I'm going to have to insert my hand here. But you can see there's a new hole. There's already some darning here. And here. The other one, nothing. Absolutely nothing. This one keeps getting holes. And then there's this one here. Can you see the hole in the top here at the toe? I do not know where it came from. And when I say we, I mean my husband, my son, and I. We all have a pair of glitter Christmas socks, and we all wore them on Christmas Day. And I took a picture of our feet wearing our socks. And in the picture, you can clearly see, because this is the top of the foot, you know, no hole. Everything's perfect. And like an hour later, I look at my husband's foot and was like, what exactly did you do? There's a hole in your sock. So yeah, I'm going to darn that as well, of course, because, you know, I want these to live for the next 20 years or so. And firstly, I really enjoy darning. Secondly, I think that it is important to not just throw things away that are in perfect condition otherwise. So I'm going to darn those, and yeah, that's going to happen. So that was the new stuff, the 2 books. And then reading, of course, is extra. I'm going to film my favorites of the year, my least favorite books of the year, or the worst books of the year. I'm going to do 2 separate videos for that, and they will go up on the channel within this week, I hope. I have been listening to audiobooks, and I started watching something new. Well, it's not new. Yesterday evening, I started watching Supernatural from the beginning. So last year, throughout the first 6 months or so, I did a rewatch of all 15 seasons of Criminal Minds. And for this year, I've decided to do the same thing with Supernatural. It's a comfort show. I need that, you know, to calm myself down. I need to watch something that I already know. So I decided to go with Supernatural because I love it. It's fun and, you know, it's all I can ask for. So I've started yesterday evening and I watched the first 2 episodes while knitting on the balaclava here. And yeah, I'm gonna work my way through that. And confession time, I've only seen the first 7 seasons yet. I've not even seen half of it, because there's 15 seasons and I've seen 7. So I'm missing out on 8. And I'm gonna remedy that this year. I'm gonna watch all of it. So that's that. I've showed you everything, which leaves me with everything else. First thing on everything else, there will be a VKN this Saturday, and I have no idea what day that is. I just really do not know. It's the 9th today, so it's probably the 15th. I think it might be the 15th. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the 14th. I'm gonna say 14th. Saturday the 14th of January, 9 p.m. Berlin time. We will have a VKN. I am going to link it in the Ravelry group and on Discord. And I will put a reminder up on Instagram and Discord. So, you know, if you want to join, you now have time, because it's, you know, today is Monday and we're meeting on Saturday. So I look I really look forward to that very much that way. Okay, so that's the weekend. And what else do I have planned? Oh yeah, I will have a lot of pattern releases throughout January and February, because I am going to bring back 3 of my old patterns, and I have this balaclava, then the other one that I just had the idea for will be coming in February sometime. And I will also finally record a video for my vanilla socks, like I said before. And that's probably all going to happen by the end of February. So that's exciting. And the next thing is mental health update. So it's up and down, as it always is. And around Christmas, it usually goes down pretty much. And it did a bit, but not as bad as it could have, and you know, has done in the past, because Christmas is a difficult time in general. And yeah, but I reached a low yesterday. I have since uncovered why, and it's not important, you know, to tell you, because it's not important. But I'm feeling a lot better today. So what I did yesterday, when I realized that it's just getting worse and worse and worse, and the, you know, the spiral in my head was starting to spiral, I put on real clothes, because I wasn't home. I was wearing pajama pants, and I went out for a walk, and I did a lot of walking, and it made things a little bit better. And today when I woke up, I was already feeling a bit better again, and then I took myself out for breakfast, which I started doing in December, and you will have seen me do that during Vlogmas. I done it twice then, and I went again today. And it still feels weird, you know, like I don't really deserve to do this kind of thing. But I stayed there for like 1.5 hours, listening to my audiobook, knitting on my botanist cardigan, and just being there. And it was really nice. So that's what I did. And I think that's it for today. I don't have anything else to tell you. I am really happy that I'm back with recording. I will leave links down below to all the places where you can find me. That will also include a link to my Patreon, where I am really active and I post a lot of things. And yeah, I think that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful time, a great 2023, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.